All right, good morning. So here we are. It was a full moon last night, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to play around with a full moon pose or full moon flow. So just kind of moving into some, big moon shapes. And then we're going to play with a pose called Sunbird, which we've done before in the class, but we're going to explore it both in a seated variation and in a standing variation. So that's our bird dog or sunbird pose. All right, so sitting back in your chair for just a moment, give yourself a few breaths to settle in and check in and notice what's going on in your body today, what's going on in your world today, and then what's going on in your mind. Let yourself arrive in this little space. Let's call this our little virtual studio together. Good. And then tune into your breath. As you feel your body settling into the chair, take a few slow rounds of breath. Expanding the rib cage front to back, side to side with the inhale. And then softening and relaxing with the exhale. So take 3 more, going slowly or as fast as you want to. Just really kind of observing what parts of your body change when you take that big inhale. And what happens if you push all the air out and use your abdominal muscles to push the rest of the air out. Take another deep breath. Good. And gently come back to a natural breath. So notice that because of the breath, we are always moving some way. All right. Even when we feel like we're absolutely still, there's always some movement because we're breathing, right? All right. And then from this position, we're going to take the arms down by the sides. And then just bring one arm forward and up as much as you're comfortable with, and then release down, and then the other arm forward and up. Good. And then let them alternate. So one maybe reaches back while the other one comes forward and up. Just kind of taking like a little, I don't even know what this would be called. Just finding a little bit of movement through the shoulders. Observing the movement of this, right? All right, and then release the arms down, bring the hands to the side, shake them out a little bit. And then shoulders up, inhale, exhale, relax the shoulders. Good, take that again, inhale, squeezing maybe, and then releasing, here's Lulu. Good, and inhale up, and then roll back and down. So start to draw the shoulders up and back and down, drawing those shoulder blades together, feeling that intention in the back of the body. And then reversing, so shoulders are back and up and forward. Good, a couple times. Lulu does not like the vacuum cleaner. So if she sees the vacuum cleaner, she runs. And that's what she's doing right now. All right, not that it's running, she just saw it. Let the left ear drift to the left, but lift up through the right side. See if you can feel the length on that right side of the neck. Good, and then bring it back up, inhale. And then as the head drifts to the right, lift up through the left. Good. And back to center. We're going to add the arms. So this time as we lean and reach over to the right side, we're going to let the right arm reach out and slightly back. Feeling that length on the right side. Good. And then slowly come back up. And this time as we're leaning to the right, the left arm reaches up, out to the side. Maybe let that arm reach back. Good. Bring it back to center. And this time, we're going to let the left ear reach to the left and right ear reach up. And now right arm out to the side. Palm is facing down. Take your chin to the left. And the chin is down toward the shoulder. The right palm is down. With an inhale, lift your chin and lift your right palm up. And exhale, bring chin down and palm down. Take 2 more. Feeling that expansion across the front of the shoulder blade and noticing what's happening in the neck too. Good. Good. And then bring your head back to neutral, hands back to lap. Beautiful. And we're going to take second side. So your right shoulder, lift up through the left side of the neck, reach out, the left hand, palm is down. Slowly take your chin to the right, chin is slightly down toward the shoulder. And then with the breath, inhale, chin up, left palm up. Exhale, chin down, spin the palm down and back. Take two more. Just moving through the neck, moving through the shoulder. Good. And then releasing that, coming back to center. Bring your chin to your chest, but lift up through the base of the skull. So feel as if you could lengthen the back of the neck just a little bit more, and notice how that feels. And then we'll start to take the chin right and left in a little pendulum movement. Good. And then bring the head back up to neutral. Before we move to the next neck movement, I want to make sure we have our shoulders warmed up. So bring your hands to your shoulders. With an inhale, elbows reach back, drawing the shoulder blades together, and exhale, elbows forward. Maybe they touch like a little kiss. Inhale. Good. Exhale. While this is happening, notice what your rib cage is doing. Your rib cage may even puff out in front here and then pull in when we do this. Good. And then take some circles. Rolling the shoulder or elbows around a few times. Good. And then reverse. So I'm just a little injury on my left shoulder. So I'm going to take it a little easy. Just a little injury. I just took a little spill last weekend. Nothing serious, but enough that I feel a little sore in that shoulder. All right, now that our shoulders are warmed up, if you're okay with taking your hands behind your head, you're either taking your fingertips to the side or you clasp your hands behind your head. And then open the elbows wide. And use your hands to lift your neck a little further away from the shoulders. And then inhale, elbows back. Let your head press back into your fingertips or your hands. And then exhale, chin down, elbows towards each other. Take two more. Finding this movement almost like our cat and cow movement, but involving the shoulders and the front of our chest. Good. And then when you're ready to complete that, go ahead and release the hands down and then bring the head back to neutral. And we'll take that one more twist to the right, one more twist to the left. And as we come back to center, draw your circle. Going as slow as you want, as small or as big as you want. Pausing whenever you find a spot that needs a little more love, a little more attention, and rock back and forth there. And then after a few times around, reverse and take it the other direction. Good. Bring your head back to neutral. Nice job. All right, so we've got the neck, we've got the shoulders involved. We're going to start to scoot forward in the chair. So we're using our spine a little bit more, spinal muscles, and then just play around with tucking the tailbone under, and then reaching your tailbone, like if you had tail feathers and they're reaching back behind you. So we're kind of tucking and reaching and tucking. And notice this is just about the pelvis and what the pelvis is doing, okay? Good. And then if you want, we'll make that into a circle. So we're leaning to the right, taking the tail feathers back, leaning to the left, tucking the tail feathers under. So just taking that circular movement that happens mostly from the waist down. Good. Warming up through the hips and then reverse direction. So tail feathers back, to the right, tuck under, and then to the left. And just take that around a couple of times. Warming up through the hips. Good. Nice job. All right. Nice job. All right. Before we move into the upper body, we're just going to take right leg into the chest. Give it a hug. Point and flex the ankle. Good. And then rotate the ankle. And then rotate other direction. Bring the leg down, bring the right leg off to the side and just let the knee come in and out to finish warming up that side of the hip. You can always keep it low, or if you decide you want to be a little more challenging, then you're lifting the leg and bringing it in and lifting it and bringing it out. Okay, we're just only doing it a few times. All right, and then bring it down. Beautiful. All right, left leg into the chest, hugging, pointing and flexing. Remember, you can always hold the back of the thigh if that's easier for you. Good. And then rotating the ankle. And reverse. Good. And then bring the left leg down and then out to the side and then knee in and out. Good. Again, choosing to keep this as a very gentle stretch, or if you want to make it stronger, you're lifting up and out and up and out. Good. We're not spending a lot of time with that today. All right, gently stretch the right leg out in front of you. Heel is down, and you can either point the toes up toward the sky. I'm going to turn it diagonal so you can see, or you can point your toes down. So whichever feels better for you. Keep a hold of your chair. Maybe even reach for the back of the chair and then hinge forward. I just want to get a little hamstring stretch here. At the same time, we're stretching the front of the chest because the shoulders are drawing back. Notice your belly. See if you can draw that low belly in so that you're firming up through your abdominal area. Take a couple of breaths here. If you're finding any tension in the neck, let the head drop just a little here. Good. And then slowly come back up. Good. And we'll bring the right knee back into the chest. And this time we're going to curl as if we were trying to bring our nose to our knee. And draw the belly in. Feel your abdominal muscles kind of warm up here. Good. And then release. And stop. All right. Left leg extends. Again, holding the back of the chair. Lean forward, draw the shoulders back, keep the lower belly drawn in so that we're still using the core here. Take a few breaths here. Again, let the head be mostly neutral. You can let the head hang, but see if you can lift up through the base of the skull, create a little more length in the back of the neck. Just feeling that hamstring stretch, back of the leg. Good. And then slowly come back up. And this time we'll bring left knee in and curl as if we were trying to bring our nose to our knee or our knee to a nose, and feeling the heat that we generate through the abdominal area when we do that. Good. And then release. Good. Take one forward fold. You can have knees forward or you can take your knees wide. We're going to come halfway or further down if you want to. So you can also wiggle. I like to do, over to one side and over to the other. Good. You can go lower if you want to. And just let the neck get a little bit of movement here too. And when you're ready to come back up, bring your hands back to your thighs, roll up your lower back, middle back, shoulders, and head. Good. All right, let's take a little water break and then we'll move into our full moon flow today. We'll do a quick check-in. How's everybody feeling so far? Thumbs up? Yeah, thumbs down. Good. Lulu has no comment. She's sleeping off to the side. So we're going to do our spinal movement today. Normally we do the side bend, the twist, cat-cow. We're going to put it together into a flow. So we'll take the first one pretty slow and then we'll move it into a little faster. All right. So first of all, bring your arms up into a moon shape. If this is too intense, feel free to do here, okay? So we're just taking an inhale to moon shape and then exhale, release. Let's take that 2 more times. Inhale up, lengthen your spine. Exhale, release. Good. And then one more time. Inhale, reach up. Good. And then exhale, release. All right. so now we're going to add to that. So inhale up. Good. This time lean to the right. Let's actually keep the moon shape, see what happens there. And then inhale up and then over to the left. See if you can keep the moon shape. The second time I'm going to give you an option. So bring it up. And this time as we go to the right, let the right arm release down. Let it hang. Good. And then back into our moon. And then over to the left. Let the left arm hang down. Good. Back to center. Inhale. Now twist to your right. Keep your moon shape if that's okay. Inhale, center. And twist to the left. Again, if you're feeling too intense, you can bring the hands to the shoulders. Back to center. Good. Now this time twist to the right and let your hands come down to the right. Look over your right shoulder. Inhaling back into the center. And this time as we go to the left, let the left arms come down on the left side and look over your left shoulder. Good. And then back up through center. Good. This time reach forward, pull the belly back, arching the back into our cat pose. And then inhale, lift, reach out through the heart into our cow pose. And then this time without the arms, we're going to bring the arms down, round and curl through our cat pose. And then chest forward, and this time the arms reach back. So we're alternating the moon shape with other arm shapes. Good. And then coming back up into our moon shape. Arms release down, the right leg comes up. You can either hold the leg or you're going to touch your fingers underneath the leg and let the leg do the work. Good. And then back up again. Inhale. Good. And exhale, other leg. Good. Inhale up. Good. And then we'll take a swan dive here to forward fold. So hands on thighs or down toward the shins, and take a couple of breaths here. So that's our first round. And we might only just do one more because that was a double round in a way. Good. And then start to come back up. Good job. Let's do this a single round instead. So we did like twice on each thing that we did, but this time I'm just going to do it single. And you can decide if moon shape or no moon shape with your arms, okay? So arms down by the sides, sitting up in our tall mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach up. Good. Exhale, release. And we'll take one. Inhale up. Lean to the right, moon shape, or let the right arm drop. Inhale up. And then over to the left, again, option to do what you want with the arms. Inhale up. Twist to the right. You're welcome to bring the hands down to that right side. Inhale back to center. Twist to the left, hands maybe come down to that left side. Good. Inhale back to center. Good. Releasing into our cat-cow, so letting the spine round, curl back. And then chest forward, reaching back. Good. As we come back to neutral spine, arms come up one more time. Inhale and exhale as the arms come down, right knee comes up. So again, you could hold on or let your knees stay lifted and then back up. Inhale. Good. And then exhale, left. Good. And then back up. Inhale. Good. Hands to heart. Pause and breathe. All right. So just a way to kind of put things together in a different way, noticing how everything feels. As you're ready, release it down. Take your feet a little wider. And we'll start with Charleston, knees in and out. And your hands can cross over or not. Good. Notice I have my heels lifted, so you can try that and see how that feels on the ankles. And what happens if you bring the ankles down and toes up? Does that feel different? All right, so just playing with different movements here. All right, and then bring the toes, feet down to flat. And then we can start to spin right and left into our windshield wipers. I like to hold on to my chair because I always slide out of my chair when this happens. Good, and then we're going to pause the next time the knees go to the right. Look over your left shoulder. You can get silly, maybe strike a pose. You can get, make any kind of shape that you want to. You can do full moon. You can make a pinup pose and just get silly. All right. Nice job. And then releasing that, we'll go to the left, lick over the right shoulder, and then take your pose here. Anything you want. Ooh, good poses. All right, come back to center. Yeah, don't take yoga too seriously, right? All right, once we're here, we'll take one more reach back. So you can hold the bottom of your chair, you can hold the back of your chair. Shoulders roll down and back, and then take your forward fold again. So keep the rib cage drawn in so that you're not arching the back too much, and then just feel the big stretch across the front of your chest, or maybe you feel something different. Play with the chin is down and chin up, and noticing the neck here. Good. Now, if you keep the rib cage drawn in, maybe you bring your arms out into airplane. Good. And then slowly release the arms down and come back up, reach up, and a big sigh, let it go. Good. All right. So we've kind of warmed up most of the body. Let's do a little kicking before we do move on to the next thing. So knees, I always want to do some stuff for the knees today. If you feel like reaching that right leg out and pulling the hip back, if this feels too intense, feel free to sit back in your chair, okay? Sit further back. So just holding on if you want to. Good. And then we'll take 3 kicks. So bend the knee, 3, 2, 1, and then bring it down. Good. So we're activating and warming up these muscles right here in the front of the thigh. Maybe you feel it in somewhere else, back, lower hip. Okay. Same thing with the left. So left leg reaches out, plug that thigh back into the hip socket. It sounds like a weird thing, but it does help. Hold for a few breaths. Again, you can hold on if that feels better, or sit back in your chair. Good. You guys are strong. And then add 3 kicks. So bend the knee and 3. Oh, that was my knee. 2, 1. Good. And release. Good. Shake it out. So when we do this, I really always want to keep our thighs strengthening because it's going to help us with our knees. Okay. All right. Last option, either sitting forward or sitting back in your chair. We're going to do both legs. Okay. So your choice. I sometimes like to hold the chair, reach out both legs. Good. Sit up tall. Staying here. Or if you feel like you're balanced, you're reaching the arms up. It's a little tricky here. Good. And then release. Good. And then choosing forward fold here, knees close together or feet wider. Wiggling it out or just coming straight into stillness. And take 3 rounds of breath. Think about your forward fold, feeling the breath moving into the back of the rib cage. Expand with the inhale, and exhale, push the air out. Broadening the ribs in the back of the body. And when you're ready to come back up, bring your hands back to your thighs and slowly come back to upright. Good. We're going to play with a pose called Sunbird. I've heard it called Bird Dog as well, but I like Sunbird. I just like the name of it, and I happen to live on Sunbird Lane, by the way. Okay, that's the name of my street. Isn't that cool? Okay, so we'll take feet wide. So we're going to take a couple of variations. One's going to be sitting in our chair, and one's going to be standing. So we're going to swing over to the right side. Plant the right foot. Okay, my right hand is holding onto the chair because I don't want to fall out. Okay, and at first left knee is pointing down, and you can let that front of your thigh stretch out a little bit here. You can decide if you need to bring the knee further forward or if you can reach back a little bit. I'm going to keep it pointing down for now. And then again, notice your left toes can be tucked or you can untuck them, pressing down to the tops of the feet. Okay. All right, so we're going to give you some options there. And then once, I want you to feel the thighs draw towards each other. So this isn't about sinking, it's about lifting, okay? All right, now left arm reaches forward and then lean forward. Keep the belly drawing in. Notice that if you lean forward and hinge at the hips, your left leg might reach back a little bit more if you wanted to. Pause here, take about 2 rounds of breath. Feeling everything working hard to keep you from falling out of the chair. Good, and then when you're ready, let's come back to upright. Knee comes slightly forward. Good, maybe take a twist to your right. Good, and then unwind, come back to center. So that's our Sunbird pose. That's one variation of it. As we come back to center, feel free to kind of move the ankles, the toes, you know, wiggle the toes a little bit. Move anything that you want to. All right. And that's the first time. Yesterday was the first time I taught this particular pose. I made it up because it's a variation that's similar to one that we do when we're standing. All right, so legs wide. Go to the left, plant your left foot. Left hand's holding onto the chair, and then adjust what your right leg is doing here. So you can either stay here, bring it forward, bring it back, your choice. Draw the thighs towards each other, firming up through here, firming up through the hips, okay? All right, we want strength in this pose. Right arm reaches forward, keep the shoulders slightly back, and then start to hinge forward, leaning further forward. As you hinge forward, that left leg or right leg might go back a little further. And then just stretching out here, take 2 rounds of breath. Feel everything that's holding you up here. Good. Releasing when you're ready. Bringing that right knee forward a little. And then if you want to, take a twist to your left. Looking toward the back of your chair. Good. And then coming back through center. Nice job. All right, sit back for a moment. And again, you can kind of wiggle the toes a little, move the ankles around. Sit back for a moment and just notice how that felt in the body. What I like about Sunbird pose is it makes us use our back muscles quite a bit, but it's also core work. Also, it's a balance pose, so we'll discover that. It's a good time for a water break before we move into our standing poses. My dog Lulu is not a bird dog, so I've never seen her do that. She'll never do that pose that I know of. But I have you seen bird dogs? They do that, they kind of point. I've only seen them on TV, not in person. All right, from our sitting position, make your way up to standing any way you'd like. Take your chair so that it is in front of you or you're behind your chair. All right, once we find our mountain position or standing position, find your alignment. So feet are about hip width apart or wider, if that feels better. Toes are facing forward. Good. A little softness to the knees. Shoulders are gently back. Rib cage is in. So sometimes we draw our shoulders back and we stick out our rib cage. So think about rib cage down, shoulders gently back. And then think about now the back of your skull reaching back a little bit. Finally, the crown of the head reaches up. So beautiful. So this is our mountain pose. Hands can face anywhere you want to. And we'll take those, inhale, bring it on up. Maybe you find the moon pose again. And exhale, release. Good, take that. We're gonna add the side bend. So inhale up. Good, lean to the right. Maybe the right hand comes down. And back up, inhale. And then over to the left. Maybe the left hand comes down. And back up to center. Keeping your feet facing forward or turning to the right. Maybe releasing the hands down to the right side. And then back through center. Good, twist to the left. Bring the hands down to the left side. Good, inhale back to center. Good, just releasing the arms down. Good, nice job. And then playing around just for fun, right leg up, and down. And you might need just to hold on to the chair and bring one arm underneath, right? So you can do one leg at a time, one arm at a time. Good. This one's different. It's a little bit of balance. All right, good job. Shake it out. Let's bend one knee and bend the other to get through the ankles and get the knees moving a little bit more. If you hear snoring, it's Lulu, okay? All right. Nice job. All right, and so now we've kind of moved through the whole body. We can start playing around with that Sunbird pose again. So I'm gonna bring my chair this way so that you can see. So as we face the chair, we start to hinge at the hips, right? Hands are on the chair. All right, so to start, we're gonna take right foot back, tuck the toes and press back through your heel. The left knee is bending a little, okay? And just kind of feeling that stretch to the back of the right leg. Remember, rib cage is drawn in, lower belly is engaged, okay? So if this feels steady, because we're balancing already, if this feels steady, then the right leg comes up. Good. So we're balancing on 3 points now. And that's our beginning of our Sunbird pose. All right, and then let's bring that back down. All right, so that's one side, and we're going to keep adding to this. But you pick whichever variation you like. But the important thing is that when we lean forward, we're always hinging through the hips. We're not rounding this way. We're hinging through the hips, right? So hands on the chair, left foot back, press into the heel, press the heel back, even though the heel doesn't reach. Lift the lower, the abdominal area. Good, and then once you feel steady, if you feel steady, left leg up. So we want to keep one long line from our head, the back of our head to that heel of the foot. Good, and then release. Nice. All right, we're going to keep adding to that, so feel free to make it gentler or stronger, up to you, okay? All right, so we're finding that right leg back. And then and my foot is flexed, I'm acting as if I'm pushing my foot into the wall behind me. And then if you feel steady, left arm forward. Thumb is up if that feels okay. So feel the length in this pose and then release. Good, switch sides, left leg back. Right arm forward. Stretching out from fingertips to the heel of your foot and then release. Good. Last variation, I'm going to make this a little silly. Right leg, left arm. Bend your knee, bend your elbow, and we're going to do a little fire hydrant. So right knee bent, left elbow bent, right knee out to the side, and left elbow out to the side. So it's like a little dog in the fire hydrant. You know what I'm talking about, right? And then if you're feeling extra fancy, you can straighten out the leg. Bend, come back into your Sunbird, and then release. Good. It's quite a bit of hip work when we do that. So just notice how it feels. And so the last variation, or the last side, is left leg, right arm. As we bend the knee and bend the elbow, open out to the side. Finding that, we call it just a silly fire hydrant position. Good. And then if you wanted to stretch it out, you can. Yeah, and then we'll come back out of this by coming back into our Sunbird and then release. Phew. Give it a rest. It may feel good to take a downward facing dog here. Hold on to your chair. Reach your hips back. Good. Let the head drop between the arms. Keep a little bend in the knees, and then you can play with bend the knees and straighten. You can wiggle. You can kind of decide whatever feels good to you here. Good. When you're ready to come out of the pose, just look forward and walk your feet forward. Good. Woo. All right. So Sunbird really is a balance pose, but it also makes us use all of our back muscles. And that's why I think it's fun. Traditionally, it's done on hands and knees, but I like the chair variation quite a bit. All right. Phew, shake it out. Maybe you're, shaking things out. Maybe you're marching, maybe you're swinging, anything you want to here. We could do that twist one, right? We could do that twist. I love that one. It's almost like we're doing a little Broadway dance, right? I'm still in that one from Ron. All right, good. All right, nice job. All right, so if you wanted to try one more variation of that particular pose, I'm going to give you an option, okay? And that's going into what we call Warrior 3. So I'll show it, you can watch, and then you can decide if you want to join. All right, so this time right leg is back, and the left arm comes off to the side. And then if you feel really stable here, then you let the right arm reach out to the side. If not, you're holding on to the chair. So this is a one leg balance pose. And then release when you're ready. Good. And then the same thing. Hinging, left leg back. Right arm out to the side. Maybe both arms. Maybe not. Good. And then release. Beautiful, beautiful. And it's not important if you can get both arms off. It's just feeling that steadiness of your body trying to hold that position. Good. Let's take another stretch with the downward facing dog. So you always have the choice of going lower if you want to, by bringing your hands to the seat of the chair or walking your hands down the side as we come into downward facing dog. So that was always an option. And your tail feathers are reaching up and back. Bending the knees as much as you need to feel more length across the back. Releasing any tension from the neck. Good. And then slowly coming out of this, walking one foot forward and then the other. And then coming back to upright. Nice job. Good poses. All right. One more balance pose I want to show you is going to be half moon. So even though it's full moon, we're going to move to half moon. So you're going to move to the right side of your chair so that your left hand has something to hold on to, okay? A little extra balance today. All right. So first of all, find that place where everything feels equal and find a spot to look at that's not moving. Balance starts with this, with just our standing, okay? All right. Left hand is holding onto the chair, weight shifts into left foot, right leg lifts out to the side. And we actually let the body lean. So your hand is holding onto the chair, maybe right arm reaches out, maybe you go a little deeper. It's really kind of up to you to decide how far to go. Good, and then slowly come back up. We're only gonna do one more of these on each side. I just wanna show you that you have options, and this is called half moon. All right, the second variation, the toes, left toes turn toward the chair. And then you can choose whether you're keeping your hand on the back of the chair as that right leg comes out, or you bring your hands to your left hand to the seat of the chair. Kind of checking in to our stability here. Good, this is our half moon, and then slowly come out of that pose. Good. So it's a little trickier when your toes turn because you don't have as much control front to back. But did you see why we stretched out the hamstrings first? Because I wanted to make sure when we moved into this that our hamstrings. Good, so let that go. I love that you just took that forward fold. So it's always okay, bend the knees, bring the hands to the thighs, maybe the forearms to the thighs, maybe coming into a huddle pose and stretching out through the upper back and lower back area. And then slowly come back up. And then the opposite of forward fold is gently rolling the shoulders back, lifting the chest. Good, and coming back. Good, so we have forward fold and we have that arch of the back. All right, second side. This time we're on the left side of the chair so that our right hand has something to hold on to. Okay, Again, most important things, how balanced do you feel before we do anything? When you just come into our standing pose, find a focal point. Good. Now the right hand holds onto the chair. The weight shifts to the right foot. The left leg starts to open out to the side. You can stay halfway or a third of the way. You can reach out a little more and move into a more of a horizontal position. Maybe the elbow or forearm is down on the chair. Good. And then come back up. So this is kind of a fancy pose. It's not something we use in real life very much, but it's kind of interesting to test it. All right, and then the second variation, the right toes turn toward the chair. And you can even bend the right knee as you start to come into this. So you hear either your hand is on the chair or you move your hand down to the seat of the chair. Good, and taking your time. Focus, breathe. Focus, breathe. Beautiful, and then coming back out. Nice job. Woo. Turn the toes forward, swing it out. Good. We can also take the hips side to side and make some circles. And reverse. We can keep that half forward fold, little bend in the knees, hands to thighs or forearms to thighs, and then just releasing the tension in the lower back area. So I call this huddle pose. It's a forward fold, but we're kind of in a huddle. And then slowly come back up. Nice job. Phew, inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. Nice, strong, steady work today. Let's go ahead and make our way back to the chair. It's a little less time than we normally spend in standing poses, but we did some really strong work today. So I'm gonna take a break from that. You can grab some water if you want to. And sometimes in yoga, we do these fancy shapes. And the point isn't to look fancy. The point is that when we make different shapes, we feel different things happen in our body. So if, for example, if you take your arm and reach forward, you're going to feel something different than when you take your arm and reach back. So just kind of notice, you'll feel something different when you take one arm and reach back. And then you may feel something different when you bend your elbow and reach your elbow back. So that's the whole point, is we're trying different shapes just so you can feel different things using different muscles. Take a break by using the hands, so feel free to stay seated forward or sit back in your chair. Don't get too comfortable because we will come forward in a bit. All right, and then clasp the hands together and then make some circles with the wrists. Floating them around a little bit, there we go. You can make them bigger and let the elbows move too. Good. And see if you can reverse that. Just letting the hands move the opposite direction. It's not so easy to think about that one. All right, and then gently press the palms forward, either keeping the shoulders relaxed, maybe reaching out further. Good, and then just taking a moment to feel that stretch to the hands. Good, and then release the arms, reach back, turn the palms up, draw the shoulder blades together, good, and then release. Clasp your hands together again, but take it the opposite way, the opposite hand leading. I know, you always have to think about it and then find that same circle. Good. And then reverse. Maybe the elbows get in on the back. We're doing this little crazy wave thing. All right, and then gently press the palms forward here. You can keep it down low. You can take it up high. And lift up through your rib cage, soften the shoulders down, and then kind of take a little wiggle side to side. So we're kind of back into full moon in a way here. Good, and then release. Good, and then wiggle your fingers. Wiggle them out, and then make an open and close, spreading the fingers wide, and then making a fist. Good. And then with fists, circle the wrists around. And then with spread fingers wide, circled wrists the other direction. I really like hand work. I think it really does help when you use your hands a lot, which most of us do. Shake them out a little bit. All right, we'll let the hands rest and we'll move into some low back stretches, because I know what we did might have made your low back a little sore if you're prone to that. So my favorite one, of course, is usually pigeon. So right ankle over left ankle, starting there, or bringing the ankle to the thigh if that's okay for your hips. Okay, so you choose, either one will work for this position. All right, and then choosing whether you want to stay where you are or hinge forward at the hips. Take your slow, deep breaths and take your time listening to your body as you either stay in position or continue to go just a little deeper. Head relaxes, but lift the back of the skull. Create more length. 2 more rounds of breath here. Good. And then slowly come back up. Inhale. Good. Right knee stays up. You can just lift the right knee from here, or you can cross right knee over left knee. And then notice that I leaned to one side, so I'm going to try and bring both sits bones down. And then the left hand will hug the right knee in. And you can stay here, or you can let yourself twist to the right, bringing the right hand behind you. Good. And then come back to the center. Good. You might notice that when we took that twist, you get a little bit more on the outer hip. All right, uncross the legs, stretch the right leg out in front of you. This time we're going to come back into that hamstring stretch and see if it feels different. So again, heel down, and the toe can either be up or the toe can be down. Your choice. And we're going to come into our hamstring stretch or forward fold from here. So hands to thighs, to that left thigh. Maybe the right hand reaches down to parts of the leg that it can reach. Good. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely more relaxed or more stretched out in the hamstrings now that we've completed most of the class than I was at the very beginning of class. Good. And then slowly come back up. Good. And then bring the right foot back in. All right, second side. Left ankle over right ankle, making a wing with that left leg, or bringing the ankle to the thigh. I always like to give options because not everybody can cross their legs this way. Good. Settling into this, feel heavy in your hips here. That's a good thing. Lengthen through your spine, then hinge forward if you have space. Continue to take those 3 slower, deeper rounds of breath as you decide how far to go. Let the head relax, but lift up through the back of the skull. Full rounds of breath. Expand the back of your rib cage. Push the air out with the exhale. Good. When you're ready to come back up, slowly bring your torso back to upright. And then let that left knee come up a little higher. So if you're crossed at the ankles, we're just bringing the left knee up and in a little bit, and you can cross it over a little. Good. Your right hand will hold onto that left knee and lengthen, drawing the knee toward the center, and let your body spin to the left. And breathe. Good. When you're ready to release the twist, come back to center. Uncross the leg. Stretch out the left leg along the ground. I've got Lulu in front of me. Again, heel is down, toe is up. Or you can point the toe, your choice. Keep your hands on the right thigh, lengthen the spine, hinge forward, take your time. So notice again, is this different than before or the same? And is the right and the left different from each other? So just letting your mind follow your body is the point of mindfulness in yoga. staying connected. Again, notice the back of the neck, lengthen the back of the neck, lift up through the back of the skull, keep the belly lifted. Good, and then slowly come back out of the pose. Good, slide the left foot back in. Nice job. All right, so we've kind of taken care of the hips, the lower back area. And then what you can do is just kind of lift the heels and the toes, alternating or doing them both at the same time, okay? All right, and then tap out the feet. Good job. Yay, so I think we did from head to toe today. So as we come back to the back of our chair, and if you have one more pause, you know, if there's one more thing you need to do, take the time to do it. You can take a forward fold, you can sit back. But I'm going to focus a little bit on a little bit of self-massage here. So I'm going to take off my glasses for a moment. All right, so notice how you feel. We've kind of moved from head to toe. It's a good time to kind of pay attention to how your face feels now. So self-massage is a good thing. We can use our fingertips to massage the forehead just above the eyebrows. We can move to the temples. Moving to the jaw, if that feels okay. And then as you massage the jaw, open and close and see what you feel. Those are some of the strongest muscles, I think the strongest muscles in the body, what holds our jaw together. Use your thumb to massage under the chin. Good. And then use your right hand over to the left side of the neck, and the left hand holds up the elbow. Give yourself a massage around the neck. If you're like me, you're a little bit sweaty too. Just noticing side of the neck, back of the neck, top of the shoulder, any of that there. Maybe even letting the neck move around when you do that. And then switch sides. So the left hand goes over to the right, and the right hand helps hold up the elbow. Of course, it would be nice if somebody else was doing it instead, but at least you can do it yourself here. Good. And then releasing that, move the neck around a little bit. And then one more spot that you might find is if you take your right thumb over to the left shoulder where it connects, you might find a little spot there. Kind of right into the shoulder joint. I'll get a little closer so you can see. So right about the place where your shoulder connects to your chest, you might find a little tender spot there. You can get a little massage. And across the top of the chest, maybe you bend your left elbow and bring it back. Just to expand that. Good. And then second side, so the left hand massages the inside of the right shoulder. One side may be different than the other. And then right at the top of the chest, maybe you make a little half cactus shape with that right arm. Ooh. My chest is much sorer than I thought. Good. And then release that. Good. Let's take a big inhale, reach the arms out. Exhale, hug, pat on the back. Good. Make this as soft as you want to. Maybe you wiggle, maybe you just pause. Notice which arm you have on top because we're going to switch. Inhale and exhale, opposite arm on top. Leads. Good. And one more inhale. And then release, exhale. Good. Let yourself be resting at this point. So we're heading into Shavasana, our relaxation time. If you decide you want one more pose before you're ready to do that, feel free to take and do anything you want. Otherwise, we're sitting back in the chair. Take a deep breath. And let it go with a big sigh. Good. Pause, close your eyes if that's comfortable. At first, you may notice the different sensations in your body from all of the poses that we've done. But gradually start to let go of the poses and simply let your body benefit from what we did today. Let your mind now come into a rest state along with the body. Observing if you find tension anywhere, whether it's the jaw or the face, let that relax just a little more. And let yourself sink a little more into your chair. I'll be quiet for a few more breaths and let you simply enjoy this time. Very gently bring your awareness back to the moment. Just notice the breath coming through your nostrils, into the lungs and back out again. If you're ready to find a little bit of movement, find anything that's ready to move. So it could be the fingers, could be the wrists, maybe the toes and the ankles. Take your time moving any part of the body that's ready to move in a very gentle, mindful way. And if you're ready for a bigger stretch, feel free to reach out, stretch out anywhere that feels good. Maybe start to take slightly deeper breaths, bringing more awareness and more energy back into the body. And opening your eyes whenever you're ready. Thank you for following me on this journey today. Take one more deep breath in. And one more big sigh. Let it go. Good. That's a good one. Make it as loud as you want. I can't even hear you anyway. You can do more than one. Turn your palms up and acknowledge how you feel. Any part of how you feel that you want to keep, imagine that that's in the palm of the hands. Anything you don't want to keep, imagine that it's gone. You just let it go. Bring your hands together in front of your heart and seal in the good parts. Keep that with you all day. I hope that you stay safe, stay present, and be joyful. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody.